So once we can just take a moment to relax before we do anything whack, we can just identify that there's only one way out. And truly speaking, there's only one way out. Many of us, we can't get over the fact that there may be a way out. And this is the ultimate truth, is that many of us, we can't realize that there's a way out because all we can see is so far down that road of destruction or darkness or just anger or frustration that we can't literally feel the way out. Because what happens is the mind takes us down a path of so deep down the mind of thought that we eventually get to a point where we feel that we've lost complete connection towards our true nature of existence, which is love. The true nature of our existence for many of us is love. So as long as we're taken down the path of the opposing force to love, which is desire, because we all desire, and this is part of the problem, is that we're all following the path of desire. We're convincing that we're going to get all this happiness if we follow this path of desire, and then we led to the reality that there's no happiness here, there's no love here, and this is when we feel like there's no way out because we've been following distortion for most of our lives. And this is where the true power comes into existence. Is that when we can understand that as long as we're following our mind, we have the potential to be led down a path of desire. And within a path of desire, although it may seem very pleasing, it has the potential to flip like an iceberg. 1 second that we're on top of the iceberg and we feel that we've accomplished everything. And then we understand that it was the ultimate illusion. We have the potential to flip upside down and realize that really we've left with nothing besides what we had and the truth of what we do have now, right now, which can be heartbreak. It can be heartbreaking to ultimately understand that we've been following all this time in our lives and trying to follow through desire. And we can all tell ourselves in this moment, are we leading our lives with desire, or are we leading our lives with truth of existence from our hearts? Because our hearts tell us what's good for us. Our hearts tell us and try and generate a sense of guidance, but it's we as individuals, as expressions of existence, who often choose to follow the mind's desire rather than the heart's true love, because we know on a different level what's going to guide us into a place of love and positivity and joy. But sometimes we go down a different path, which is not negative. And this is the ultimate, is that nothing's negative. So it's all about choosing to suffer, because it's all about suffering. Nothing's negative and everything's just an experience within the dream. But what's not necessary, and what I'm trying to bring to attention, is that suffering is not necessary. We can ultimately learn through experiences and generate a sense of clairvoyance above the suffering once we choose to acknowledge and find our way back to our heart's existence. A lot of us, we get to the point of utter suffering before we come back to our hearts, because we understand that we're safe in our hearts. It doesn't matter what we do in this reality. As long as we stay close to our hearts, we know that we're protected by the vibrational existence, that suffering can't exist within the hearts, because the hearts don't suffer. We choose to suffer because we choose to live outside of our heart's vibrational existence. How we choose to accept this existence is how we get welcomed back into the heart and back into the place of truth and justice and wisdom and internal infinite possibilities. Is how we all connect back to our hearts is unique for everyone, but it's the journey which is truth with for everyone.